to fight any of those people. He's just going to try and fight the easiest people and then make himself look like he's the fucking best when he really is just a piece of shit.
He said he's asked Nikita.
Jake Paul is raking in call-outs from several fighters in the fighting world. Everybody wants the satisfaction of taking down the guy who took on an old legend and get good money alongside it. But even then, KSI thinks Jake will keep choosing old fighters to make money and make himself look good. KSI thinks the fight was a bank robbery, as many are calling it a cash-grabbing scripted scam instead of an actual fight.
The money was great for Jake and Mike.
But
the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight drew in a total of 108 million views, making it the most streamed sporting event ever.
So Jake Paul and Mike Tyson managed to pack out the AT&T Stadium and also the most streamed sporting event on Netflix, which is a huge deal. This is a big deal. You know, it really shows how
It amassed millions of dollars, making it an extremely lucrative fight as well for both the fighters, so KSI and others are sort of right to call it a robbery. This means that a lot of new fans tuned in to watch this boxing match, with not all of them necessarily being boxing fans. Their expectations were quite different from Tyson.
Oh, it's a shame because, you know, I guess a lot of people that watch the fight don't really watch boxing, so they probably thought the 58-year-old Mike Tyson was going to be the 18, 19-year-old Mike Tyson that they saw back in the day and was going to absolutely destroy Jake Paul.
KSI continued to say that people need to realize that Tyson is 58 years old and should have never been in the ring to fight a professional fight against Jake.
Not realizing that he is, well, Mike Tyson is an OAP. He's an old man and had no right to be in the ring. And Jake Paul is in his prime.
Jake has fought 12 fights in total and won 11 of them so far, making him a novice boxer, but not necessarily an up-and-coming one. But even then, his youth and basic power was a huge advantage against an old man. KSI shared that Jake shouldn't have offered this embarrassing fight either, but since Jake has no shame, it's no surprise that he did.
I thought it was just, the whole thing was embarrassing, especially that Jake took the fight. But it's Jake. Jake doesn't give a shit. He has no shame. He's gonna just... I think he's looking to maybe...
Many fans have been calling Jake out for his choice of opponents. For boasting about a win against a 58-year-old retired legend is embarrassing for some, but downright disrespectful for others. And that's exactly why many big names in the fighting world have asked him to fight them. KSI thinks Jake won't have the guts to go for any of the real fighters. In fact, Jake's manager is looking to set up a fight with Show Speed, also known as Speed, instead of the actual fights.
The 8-year-old Mike Tyson, guy's a granddad. He would maybe box off the jab a little bit and it would go to points. That was exactly what we saw. They sold something very different to, I think, 90% of the world. I mean, what did you make of it when you saw it?
It's a shame because, you know, I guess a lot of people that watch the fight don't really watch boxing, so they probably thought the 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
KSI doesn't think Jake will go for fighters like Daniel Dubois because he's not a heavyweight fighter. And if Mike Tyson was a challenge for Jake, then all these other fighters will have him on the ground before the bell.
He's not going to fight Dubois.
I mean, yeah.
He's not even a heavyweight. Bro, he was gassed out fighting Mike Tyson, bro.
He elaborated, since Jake had shared that he took it easy on Mike, but thinks that Jake will continue his pattern of picking old fighters for as long as he can.
Yes, I know he probably took his foot off the gas because, you know, it's Mike Tyson. He doesn't want to knock out a legend, but we all know you're just full of shit. You're not really a heavyweight. You just fight all these people that are super easy to fight because you want to just make a name for yourself, get the easy money, easy bag. But
KSI places the blame on Jake and said he won't have anywhere to go soon since he scammed millions of people into watching an underwhelming fight.
Where can he really go at this point? What has he got? He scammed Netflix. He scammed DAZN. He scammed Showtime. He scammed all these people. Where's he going to go?
Jake Paul appeared on his brother Logan's podcast, Impulsive, to first joke about his own choices in opponents. He laid out his conditions for his next opponent in a humorous way.
Or Parkinson's. And they have to have the wheelchair thing in their, or the handicap parking thing.
Okay.
If they don't have that, they can't fight them.
There's a senior citizens home down the street.
This is following a string of memes and hate towards Jake for picking fighters that aren't really fighters. The internet is ruthless towards the problem child.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
Jake continued about KSI as an opponent to say,
KSI is old. He's like 34 or something.
I think he's like 32, maybe 30.
That's old.
31, 32.
That's old. He fits. He's retired.
So there's a chance.
He's a retired.
Jake says he's ready, but there's a weight and class difference between both of them, so the fight probably won't really happen.
Not.
Look,
No, you're not.
I'm
Neither is
literally
he.
ready.
He's too light. You're too heavy, bro. You gotta, someone's gotta, should we flip a coin? Flip a coin for the weight class?
I would low-key be down for that.
You would? That's actually.
In fact, when the Paul versus Tyson fight was originally postponed, Jake had called out KSI to step in as an opponent. He wrote to KSI on X to say, KSI's coach saying he is over 200 pounds right now, so no weight excuses. Let's run it for July 20th, and then Paul Tyson in October/November. But at the time, KSI had a fight scheduled already. However, YouTuber KSI, who has fought with Jake's older brother, Logan Paul, took to Instagram to share, "What a sad watch. Whole thing was sad. Mike Tyson is twice the age of Paul FFS. It was never ever gonna be close. I can't believe that this elderly abuse was even sanctioned. Just a disgusting." And when it came to Jake's performance and alleged growth as a boxer, KSI shared, "Jake Paul has not improved. From everything that I've seen, I'm sorry, but he stinks. He absolutely stinks. I feel like he's got worse. He's just got fatter and worse." Moving on to Logan, he's been getting slammed by fans for disrespecting Tyson. When Tyson was asked if he'll fight again, he had pointed towards Logan in a hilarious exchange. And the same night, Logan said that Tyson is no match for him.
Logan, what do you make of Jake's performance tonight?
Absolutely stupendous.
What did you think of Mike Tyson?
I love Uncle Mike. He's just such a, that was impressive, no? For a 58-year-old. Hi, how are you? That was, yeah, he's tough. Proud of him. Weathered the storm with a young brute named Jake Paul. I think Jake let him live. I do.
So to the hate, Logan responded on the podcast to wonder what people thought his reaction towards a person should be when they're hitting his brother and calling him out.
I had just made up with him as well, because after he slapped you, that's when I went from man, I think Jacob really hurt him to fuck him. He hit my brother.
Yeah.
People thought my comment was disrespectful. They were saying, "This motherfucker's so disrespectful. How dare he talk to Mike like that?" What do you mean? Some guy, this dude just said he wanted to fight me. What'd I do?
Yeah.
Leave me out of it.
Well,
Jake addressed the extreme hate against him as well, and said he has nothing to say about the feedback to the fight. Those who can understand the fight love and appreciate such a huge sporting event.
Well, people are just really hating right now. The haters are running wild.
What are you saying to the feedback on the fight that you're getting?
I'm not saying anything.
Nothing.
I don't need to say anything. The people who understand the greatness of it and have their own lives and are happy with themselves, they're gonna just show respect and show praise.
But those who don't get it just don't get it. The haters have nothing better to do with their time.
The haters who are jealous and don't have anything going on in their sad and miserable lives, and they want to bring the whole event down, and Mike down, and me down, and all of these.
Logan shared that many were just dissatisfied about the underwhelming fight. If the fight was meant to entertain people, it failed to do that. Jake thinks that most people just wanted him to lose, and that's the extent of their disappointment.
These things.
What if it's not as deep as that for some people? What if some people just think it was not that entertaining of a fight?
I mean, what do they want? They just want me to lose. That's the only way they would have thought it was entertaining.
The younger Paul brother thinks that not all fights can be entertaining. Some are just meant to be boring. Many even said that the co-main card between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano was infinitely more interesting and entertaining while being a real fight than the main event.
It's okay, yeah, sometimes there's going to be NFL games where they score, 10 points each, and then it's fucking boring. What do you want? That what happened. All possibilities are there when you go into a fight.
Jake shared that people are searching for a reason to hate on him and nothing else.
Mike out, then they still would have hated and been like, Jake's a fucking asshole. They're literally just finding a reason to hate on any part of it. So it's not just as simple as oh, I didn't like that. And they got sick ass undercard fights, the walkouts, the whole thing was entertaining.
That's true.
There's a fucking pigeon.
The fight's main attractions were everything but the main event, which is true. Mike Tyson's performance was hyped up because of the training videos that made him look incredibly strong and fast enough to take down Jake. Even the videos from his camp showed that many people were surprised by how good he still was. His performance in the open workout and the real fight was anything but that. To this, Jake responded.
Crazy hard on those pads. Doing that shit.
Yep, and people are like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is fucking punching back, you dumb fucks. Like, people don't realize my power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way of those punches. So then all this.
But he did share that despite the weak performance, Tyson was still hard to hit.
Was he hard to hit?
He was hard to hit. He was elusive. I was missing.
I can't believe he can move like that.
A lot of punches. I don't know how he gets off to the side like that.
You know what's impressive is after he gets off to the side, and then he'll come up and parry a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's still like tuned in with his defense. His defense was impregnable, impetuous.
Even Jake wasn't exactly happy with how Tyson performed, stating that the lack of action from his opponent's side didn't give him an opportunity to show off his real power.
Happy with the way the night went down.
I wish he would have, like put up a better fight so then I could have like risen more and done more. And like he was surviving.
He was.
So
annoying.
That was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the fight to you.
Yeah.
Jake went as far as to say that both Tyson's iconic slap and his punches in the ring were pretty weak, and he did not feel the effects of it whatsoever.
Thing to come out of the fight.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
I got
some trading cards.
Logan even gifted Jake a huge poster of the moment he got slapped just to show the severe impact of it.
How did my eye get morphed like that?
That's high impact velocity traumatic.
You know, he bent my earring too, like 90 degrees.
What do you mean?
Back of it.
What do you mean, really?
Yeah, the back of it was
Even when talking about the punches, Jake said that Tyson did not really get any good hit in.
Nothing. Didn't feel a thing, to be honest.
Bro, you cap.
I'm literally being honest, bro.
Nothing?
Nothing.
There are many who say that the fight was scripted or rigged. There is speculation that they definitely had some clauses, like a no knockout clause, even if the fight wasn't completely scripted.
Mike Tyson had every opportunity then to actually punch and knock out Jake Paul. He didn't do anything. So a lot of people are actually speculating that there was a no knockout clause. Probably right, guys.
Michael Irvin does not believe that Tyson just had bad legs or lost solely because of his age. He thinks this fight was a big lie.
A big lie about the fight. Now, Jake Paul, man, he's an entertainer. He's not a boxer. He's an entertainer. Because if he was really a boxer, guys, he would actually be out there competing against real boxers.
Irvin pointed out something that everyone sort of missed.
We did not see in this match against Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson, he never, ever, ever gave an uppercut. Now, if you watch,
Tyson may have been gassed in the later rounds, but for him to not attempt to throw a single uppercut and take down Jake has to be on purpose. Even in the last 15 seconds of the fight when Jake was bowing down, Tyson had the chance to hurt him or knock him down with one hit, but he didn't.
But Mike Tyson apparently was hampered by the contract, according to Michael Irvin, guys.
Tony Jeffries agreed that Tyson was holding back when he captured this moment from the fight that shows Tyson going for the punch but not going the distance.
See, Mike Tyson could have knocked him out there. Jake Paul's chin was wide open, but then Mike Tyson realised, just as he was about to throw that punch, that, oh no, I'm getting paid lots of money, I can't knock him out.
He called it ridiculous, stating that many people sent him the video and called the fight a scam. Jeffries defended this clip by saying that Tyson took this decision for another reason. He said that boxers often have to make the choice to retract a punch based on the movement of the other fighter and to keep their defense strong.
If you know boxing, you'll know exactly what's happened right here. Mike started to throw the punch as Jake Paul was moving, and he realised in that split second that if I throw this punch, it's going to miss because he's moving out of the way. So what did he do? Decided not to throw the punch. It's as simple as that, my friend.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, shared that he instantly knew that Tyson wouldn't win when his bare butt was exposed. Travis and his brother gave a huge shout out to the Paul brothers for performing well and entertaining, but made sure to remember that if Tyson was anywhere near his prime, he would have knocked Jake out mercilessly.
Out their dreams, baby. That's what I'm here for. Shout out to the Paul brothers, baby.
Dude, holy cow. Shout out to Jake Paul for not knocking out Mike.
The Mike Tyson that we know, if he was in Jake Paul's position, he would have KO'd that guy into a coma.
In other news, Netflix is being sued with a class action lawsuit.
During the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event was not great to say the least, especially on TV. There was a lot of buffering, a lot of connection issues. It was hard to log in. Some people couldn't even watch the fight and access the event, and it was just a whole mess for their first boxing event on Netflix.
There were way too many issues that were popping up with constant buffering and other technical issues. A man by the name of Ronald Blue Denton filed the suit in Florida after he and others struggled to watch the broadcast.
In breaking news, streaming giant Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. TMZ reports the lawsuit is over streaming issues and a breach of contract. Thousands of viewers claim they had trouble watching the fight. Netflix is yet to comment.
Stephen A. Smith, a popular sports personality and journalist, thinks that Jake took it easy on Tyson, knowing that the reaction to it would be too much for him and his career.
Well, I think Jake did it on purpose. I think that he didn't want to do it. I think he knew that he could take Tyson out, and he just felt bad for him, and he thought it would be bad for him. He thought it would be bad for all parties concerned for him to take Tyson out. Tyson walked into the ring stumbling.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the tape. When they introduced him, he's walking out.
Smith thinks that Tyson was way too weak. He was tired in the first round itself, despite it being it for only 2 minutes.
He's walking out, and he's stumbling. And then after that, you look down, and he had on a knee brace. And I said, oh, my Lord. And then in the first round, it's 2 minutes, not 3 minutes. And I saw Tyson tired. And I said, this is going to be bad.
Had Jake actually put in the work against Tyson and applied pressure, those hits could have had greater collateral damage for a man that's approaching 60.
Jake had really applied the pressure and was winging some throws. I think that, I think it would have been bad. A short night. I think it would have been bad. Yeah. I really, really do. And you got to remember, when you get up there in age, when you go down like that, there's a lot of collateral damage that could potentially come with that. And I think that somebody with Jake's power, size, and youth saw that, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Smith thinks Jake's original intent and belief was that Tyson would charge at him and he would have to take the old man down.
Jake walked in thinking that Mike Tyson was going to try to come at him, and he was just going to catch him and knock him out.
A ton of fighters want to take Jake on after this fight, either to show him his place or for the money. Speed thinks he can take on Jake with just 6 months of training.
I feel like I could beat Jake Paul in a fight. Wait, now hold on. When you say you could beat Jake Paul in a fight, do we mean a boxing match? Do we mean boxing match? Yes.
Jake's manager, Nakisa Badarian, did not hesitate to respond to Speed's claim with a jaw-dropping offer of a cool $10 million. Cool. Tell him I have $10 million for him right now. Sign this week. If he beats Jake, he gets a $10 million bonus. Put your signature where your clout is.
I feel like I could beat Jake Paul in a fight. Boxing match, yes. Like when I watch him box, it's like it doesn't look fluent. Like I feel like I can really get him. And especially if I have 6 months, all I need is 6 months. If I have 6 months of training, I'm beating any boxer in this world. I think I'm knocking him out. Like the 5th, 6th round, I'm getting him. It's gonna just be that one good one. Like the one that Gervonta Davis did on Ryan. He's done. He's sweet.
Jake responded to the news to say that Speed was probably goofing around when he said that because he knows better than to get in the ring with Jake. He said, Speed knows better. My guy was playing for sure. While Speed is incredibly popular, his offer isn't an enticing considering professional top-ranking fighters have offered Jake to fight. Jake shared a private Instagram DM that he from the current IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois, who just came off a win from Anthony Joshua. Jake responded to this, showing interest and asking for both their teams to get in touch and make this fight happen. The fight is probably probably not going to happen because of a few technical difficulties, but a more shocking call-out was from the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Artur Beterbiev, who is a decorated fighter currently holding the WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO titles, and offered Jake to fight him for them. Jake did respond, but without saying yes to the fight. Beterbiev called him out for not taking up the offer, and instead using the offer to hype himself up. Who do you think should be Jake's next opponent? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe for more.